Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Friday morning, bright and early, daily discipline, mind, body, and soul. This is how we get through. If anybody out there wants coaching or mentoring, go to my website, skyazrael.com, and you can just send me a message on Facebook or Instagram, whatever works best for you. So it was Thanksgiving yesterday. I hope you guys had a good holiday. Back to the old bump and grind. Back on your program. If you slipped off it, time to get back on it. I did a Zoom call last night with some family. Now, I've done individual Zoom calls, obviously with our coaching, with many of you, but I've never been on a Zoom call where there's like a whole bunch of people. I'm sure you guys have all done that, but I'm just a backwards old man that's not used to technology. So it was my first time doing that. And it's very awkward. It's a weird way to have a conversation. I sat there silent for most of the time, just watching the little boxes light up and watching people interact with each other. It's very strange. It's hard for me to understand like how to jump in to the conversation, and then you have to target someone specifically, and then I guess everybody else just sits there and watches you have a conversation. I don't know, it's weird. But it was my mom and all her sisters and other family members. It was a rather large call, and my mom bickers with her sisters. They're all very close in age. They're all 2 years apart. They all look just alike. They're not identical twins or anything, but there's no question. They're all sisters. And they have different personalities, but when they get together, they kind of revert back to being high school girls, and they bicker. Particularly my mom and her younger sister. So they argued over a stained glass window that my grandmother used to have. My grandmother died in 2012, a while ago. And my mom and her younger sister are still, I mean, it's been a while. They're still arguing over my grandmother's crap. So I had to listen to that. My brother didn't do a Thanksgiving meal yesterday. He usually does. My Thanksgivings for the last 30 years, most of my adult life, with the exception of one or two, have always been over at my brother's house. He always cooks a turkey. But he didn't this year. He's got other stuff going on. No big deal. I forgive him. So I went out to Cracker Barrel. Now, we have a large car show. We have lots of events in this town. And, of course, we have Bike Week that everybody in the world knows about. We got the largest bike week in the world here in Daytona Beach. But we have lots of other events. We have several spring breaks. We have a truck week, a Jeep week, and we have a couple classic car show events. And this one is called the Turkey Rod Run. It started off as a rather small event years ago, but now it's turned into major business. And of course it's all expensive classic cars, hot rods and stuff like that. This is all big money, big money. Hundreds of thousands of dollars for that Camaro or for that old Buick. These are not cheap, poor white trash vehicles. Of course you can find some of those lead sleds and some of that kind of rusted out shit where you wonder, did you finish it? And they always get offended when you ask them that, because they're like, yeah, it's finished. Flat black paint isn't finished to me, but whatever. I'm kind of a snob when it comes to cars. I don't mind a bike that's flat black. You give me a car, it's got to be pretty, it's got to be tight, it's got to be done. But that's just my rule. So I've had a good time looking around at some of the cars, every parking lot of any restaurant or store. It's just full of cool classic cars. I saw about 10 old muscle cars with big giant blowers, and you can just hear them whining. And I had my windows down. I was in my Mustang, and I could just smell their gasoline. It's like race fuel or something. But I went to Cracker Barrel because they had a rather affordable turkey plate. Pretty good. The turkey rather was a little undercooked. Maybe it's just me. I like my turkey just a little bit drier. I'm kind of a turkey snob. It has to be perfect. It wasn't perfect, but it was fine. And I sat in a booth behind who I thought, and I honestly, I honestly think that this was Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton. They had some other people that were at a table. If it wasn't them, it was people that looked exactly identical to them. And Jesse Jackson made a statement to Al Sharpton. They were talking about their wives or women or something. And Jesse Jackson said, "I'd rather have peace than sex." He said, "Don't give me sex, just give me peace. Leave me alone. Don't bother me, don't bicker, don't squawk and squabble and squeal and all kinds of nonsense, don't whine." I thought that was interesting stuff, an interesting quote. I'd rather have peace than sex. So let's dissect that for a little bit. Let's philosophize on that a little bit. What's the point of the relationship? Is it sex? Is it that type of physical intimacy? That's the point of it? I think when you're young, that is largely the point of relationships. When I look back on myself, and especially when I was younger, that's what I thought having a relationship was. Have a girlfriend, it's about fucking all the time. If we're not fucking, then what are we even doing? The whole point of going out to dinner and a movie and all that crap is really just to go home and bang. We gotta do something to begin with, lead up to it. But as you get older, you desire a real companionship, a true relationship, true connection, and you realize that's more than sex. Sometimes the best thing that someone can give you, the greatest gift that someone could give you, isn't their body, their holes. Here, have all my holes. No, it's peace of mind. And that doesn't mean just leave you alone. And I'm sure that's what Jesse Jackson was talking about. Just leave me alone. And he's the old man. So when you're like in your 80s, that is probably all you want. Go in the other room, don't bother me until later. You know, because maybe you're sick of seeing her every day for the last 65 years. I don't know. But I look at it a little bit more deep and philosophical than that. I'd rather have peace than sex. So if you're giving someone peace, if what I want from you is peace, sure, I'll take a piece of your ass, but then what? After 3 minutes, that's all I really need, right? Then what? No, but if you could give me peace, that's an incredible gift. That's an incredible loving gift that not everybody can give you. The world may not be able to give you peace. Your kids may not be able to give you peace. All they can do is yell and scream and whine and moan, feed me, clothe me, give me attention, whatever, right? They can't give you any peace. You got to yell at them to give you peace. You got to lock them out of the house and get out of here. The only way to get some peace, go hide from them. Sometimes the only way to get peace from the world is to hide from the world, to retreat from the world, to escape. This is what vice is about. People are seeking peace. They're seeking an aspect of love, because isn't that what peace is? What is peace? When you're feeling peaceful. It's love. All there is love and fear, and you can draw anything back to it if you do the diagram. Peace is an aspect of love. When I say I'd rather have peace than sex, it's like I'd really just rather have love than the physical, carnal, lusting, in and out. Not that that's bad. Oh, there's nothing wrong with some good sex. Sometimes all you need is some good sex to stop you from acting like a little bitch. But if you can offer someone peace, when you're around them, they feel peaceful. They feel at ease, comfortable, safe. That's an incredible gift that you're giving. This is why sometimes when someone's upset, what the best thing you can do with them isn't to counsel them or to bombard them with your advice, what you think your knowledge is. Oh, here's what I would do. Sometimes that is just annoying. The best thing you can do many times is just to give them peace, to help them to calm down, to feel safe and loved, accepted and validated and all that stuff. So maybe you just go sit with somebody. Maybe you invite them over. You know they're having a bad time. Come over, hang out. Go swim in the pool or whatever. There's peace in silence. The last girlfriend I had, she committed suicide. One of the things that we used to do together, we did a lot of things together. I missed Taco Tuesday, that was always fun. But sometimes we would just get together and read together. Sit in the same room, not talk, and I'd read a book, she'd read a book. And it's like you can share the energy, you can share your peace, your quietness, your solitude, your contentness with somebody else and create this vibe. You can do that with your dog too. I miss my last dog. My last dog, Sharky, the shark dog, little pit bull. He was a little runt. He never grew up. He lived to 20, was that it? 20 years old, 22? He was old. That's old for a pit bull. The pit bull I had before that only lived to about 13. That's normal. Sharky kept living, and I think it was because he was so tiny. He was a little tiny motherfucker. He was so cute. Big giant head, little tiny body. Sharky was real mellow. He wasn't about playing. You throw the ball to him and try to throw the ball or something, he'd just look at it and be like, what? You want me to go do something with that? He was a mellow little dude. Just offer you his peace. We would share our peace together. Animals are good for that. So I thought that was good relationship advice. We don't have to beat this dead horse too much more, but I'd rather have peace than sex. That's not a bad thing to think about when you're thinking about relationships. Food for thought.